You know what I just realized? It's about a half hour early. But you know what? I don't care. What's up, creepers? And Geekers Chris, the Retro Creep. How's everyone doing today? You know what that means? That means we can just go longer. We're definitely gonna probably play some games today. I call that the anthem of the Butthurt Brigade. Oh my god, I can't fucking talk today. What is everybody up to? Let me see. Nobody's in here yet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter! Because everyone's probably on lunch now, aren't they? Kind of hoping for a really good conversation like we've had the past couple of days. But I had to block 2 fucking people in the past couple of days. It's kind of fucking bizarre. Alright, we're going to play a game first. You know what I'm in the mood for? You know what I'm in the mood for? Not being ready, I can tell you that much. Get the fuck off of there. Oh no. Oh no, run could. It's like when Pee-wee was pulling up the chain. You know what I'm in the mood for? Nothing. A nap. That's what I'm in the fucking mood for. I am fucking wicked tired today. I mean, I know why I'm tired. I got so fucking angry last night. Went to go pay my fucking phone bill, and it was like $100 more than normal. And I was like, what the fuck? And I don't think I've ever done this, but I actually printed out the itemized bullshit for it all, right? And I'm fucking over here taking notes and highlighting shit. And I'm like, I gotta sick the beast on these people. And my lady, when it comes to customer service, she can be pretty fucking brutal. And she's learned a lot since then. I remember one time we went to, when we first started really dating, we went to a Burger King. And her favorite sandwich is the original chicken sandwich is plain. She doesn't like anything on it. Period. Bread, meat, boring. And the kid's like, would you like cheese on that? She asks, she goes, can I get the original chicken sandwich plain? He says, would you like cheese on it? And she's like, no, I said nothing. I was like, ooh, hold on. Let's take this back a little bit. I pulled her aside. I'm like, honey, he has to ask you that. Just say, no, thank you. Just nothing at all. And move on with your fucking day. And she's grown since then. But we had a particular incident last night where I needed somebody's customer service skills in the wrong light. And I didn't sick her on him like a fucking bulldog. The dog went in there ready to be pet. Ready to accept little treats, wagging its tail and... But I got so fucking... I know I wasn't going to be able to fucking do it right. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it right. So I had her call. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to the grocery store. And I went to the grocery store and I picked up a couple of just random things. We needed milk. I wanted to get some wings because... If you haven't seen this video yet, I'm genuine in my like for this. Now, is it the greatest hot sauce on the planet? No, I've had some that taste a little bit better. But I was genuinely surprised by how well this tasted. Maybe we'll do a spoonful or so on the stream. What's up, Violation? So I left and she called. And she was like, I don't know what she said actually. But when I came home, I could hear her outside yelling, screaming. And then finally it got to the point where, because I'm the guy whose name is actually on the bill, and even though she's authorized to make the things happen, she they had to hand the phone over to me. So we played basically good cop, bad cop, and we won. We won. What ended up happening was my daughter needed a phone upgrade. And we got an upgrade. And what the fuck is store level? And he even explained this to me. He goes, this is a big problem that T-Mobile's been having. So what we're doing is we're trying to filter out all the stores we can from being commissioned to an hourly rate. And what ended up happening was, and we are with T-Mobile, they wanted to give her this special rebate for the new phone. It was originally a $2,000 iPhone. And they wanted to give her this rebate, which was like $890 or something like that off. But in order to do that, they had to create a fifth line. There's four of us here, right? But didn't really explain that to my ladies. They didn't tell her we were going to get another phone line. And it fucking brought the bill up $70 fucking dollars. And I'm like, where's the savings in that? And I don't have anything connected to that fucking phone. So we called them. And between her being angry and me being the sweet guy, believe it or not, there was, the corrections have been made. And as a matter of fact, on the 8th, he's going to give me another call back, hopefully. Hold on, I'm sorry. There's a thing underneath my laptop, and if it's not fucking straight, I don't call it OCD out of respect for people who actually have OCD. I fucking hate that when people are like, I have OCD, everything has to be perfect. That's not OCD. It's called you like organizing shit. And it bothers you when it doesn't look organized. OCD is a completely different fucking thing, believe me. I've fucking seen it in action in all of its kind of forms. And you wanting your fucking glasses to look a certain way is not OCD. It's just you have an over compulsion to like organizing things, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as it doesn't create problems. But back to the phone situation. The sales lady added another line to our account. Plus, that got her a commission for creating a new line. You know? Motherfucker, I really wanted to go up to the mall and be like, I want to talk to whatever their fucking name is, but I knew it would have gone wrong. But regardless, I was fucking amped up last night. So I ended up taking a sleeping pill. I hardly ever do that. So if I'm a little groggy today, oh, violation, man, you don't have to keep doing that. Thank you, dude. Violation with the 10 gifted memberships. Fuck, I was actually about to redo my, this thing here. Hold on, where is it? That, and now you just added another 10 people for me to put on there. Thanks, buddy. No, I'm just fucking kidding with you. I don't mind doing the work. It's really not that much work. It's really more about me concentrating and actually typing it all. I have to do it on my phone. I use a program called Background Eraser. Really great program. And I just use the free. And I still have a lot of powerful features on it. And it's really cool. And the features I see that I can't use, I'm genuinely not even all that bothered by it. So I don't have a few extra backgrounds. I usually create my own backgrounds anyway. This blue background is just something I found on Google. I just asked for a blue smoky background. And that's what came up. So that's why you've been seeing that lately. But yeah, I got angry about that and ended up having to take it's called Seroquel or something like that. I cut it in half. It's only 25 milligrams, and everyone keeps telling me it's like a baby dose. But you have to understand that when it comes to medications like this, I'm a pussy. My body just does not do it very well at all. Before I start going into the games, let me fix the volume here for you. I think 46. I can't do it as 45. It has to be 46, 48. Nothing ever goes right for me. Nothing ever works for me. Let's see. What do I want to play? You know what we're going to play? We are going to play Sea Venture, or also known as Sequest on the Atari 2600. The reason I say that is because I think it was, it was the Intellivision Gamer who was playing Sea Venture, which is the Intellivision equivalent. That's a homebrew that came out a number of years ago. I can't remember exactly. I think is it Intellivision Revolution? I apologize. But it was a game that was sent over to me for review from them. They said, hey, look, here's a list of games. And I gave them like 4 or 5 titles. I said, you could send any one of these and I would be super happy. Please keep it a mystery. But the Sea Quest version is one of the games that I really did want to try out. So, all right, I'm going to bring that down a little bit because this game is loud. This game is loud. But Casey, over in the Intelligent Gamer fame, he was over there playing the Intellivision version of this. So I'm kind of in the mood, but again, guys, remember, I'm fucking exhausted. I'm tired. That pill, if I take a half of one of those pills to sleep, I'm committed for at least a day and a half. I will be groggy this whole fucking day. And it's going to drive me nuts. But, Bugsy, what's going on, dang phone company tricksters? Yeah, dude, they did me dirty. You know, they do me dirty sometimes. T-Mobile as a company isn't bad. I've been with them for fucking, God, a couple of decades at least. I think they were, yeah, I've been with them exclusively since I started using cell phones, with the exception of like the Cellular One. Do you guys remember? I think it was called Cell One. Since those fucking days. Look at this. I'm going to scoop these guys right up. Oh no, turn around. Shoot the fishes. Back in the gray flip phone. Not the gigantic bricks. Oh, fuck your mother. Not the gigantic bricks, but the medium-sized ones, they would get hot really fast, too. It was expensive to use a fucking phone back then, but I remember when I first got it, I would call people like in front of their house and be like, all right, dude, I'll be right there. And I'd literally be on their steps, get ready to ring the fucking doorbell, because cell phones weren't really a thing then. But I worked in Rhode Island and commuted back to Boston, so I thought it would be helpful, you know? And it actually was. My windshield got cracked once. My windshield got cracked once by a fucking truck kicking up gravel. And while I was on the road, I was able to call 1-800-54-GIANT. I don't know if they even exist anymore. Giant Auto Glass? I don't think they exist anymore. I think they were taken over by one of the bigger companies that are still out there now. But shortly thereafter, when I moved to Arizona, and cell phones were actually becoming like more common thing for everybody, not just the people with a few bucks in their pocket. Oh shit! I thought that was it. I went with T-Mobile. Get over here, fuckface. Shoot you in the bum. Shoot you in the bum. Then I get some fish. And then I get some divers. You know, there was talks. Casey didn't quite know what the fuck was going on here. He was like, are those mermaids? What are they? And we had to tell him that they were scuba divers. And he's like, I thought they were mermaids. And I thought to myself, there would be a really cool version of this game that at every 5,000 points, you get a little cutscene after you collect so many mermaids that you get to have a little bit of fun time with the mermaid. Make kind of like a Mystique version of the game. I'm not even into fucking porn or anything like that. Honestly, I've never been into like being into that kind of a thing. I always looked at it as a waste of fucking time. Strip clubs, same thing. I could always get coups, so it's like I didn't worry about it. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Gosh darn it. Ooh! Heavy thumbs make me do the dumbs. Alright. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to... I couldn't turn around and shoot, that guy. I was not going to win that battle. So I made a choice, and I still stand by that choice. I still stand by that choice. So, oh, fuck. I don't know, I wasn't originally going to address this, but I'm going to address it anyway. Yesterday's video fucking made a few people butthurt. And I genuinely, and this is not an insult to anybody, I genuinely didn't think anyone would buy it. I really didn't. It was fucking April 1st. It was April fucking 1st. And I'm like, and there was one person in particular who took it fucking like I was thinking about them. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? I mean, I knew it was going to ruffle a feather or two, but I didn't realize it would get to the point where I was going to have threats made. Genuine threats. I mean, I don't think they were threats of violence, but it was like, you're on my list now. I'm like, what? All right. Am I going to get a card every Christmas, or you going to come give me a kiss? Valentine's Day? I don't know. But I genuinely didn't think it was going to get anybody. Maybe I'm just a good actor. Maybe I fucking chose wrong in life. Maybe I should have went to fucking film school and became an actor, or whatever the fuck the course is. That sucks when that happens. That really sucks when that happens. Violation says, just trying to get the word out since I don't do social media. Right on, man. Right on. I genuinely appreciate that. DSV, I don't know what that is. Sequest, you ever watch that show with the talking dolphin? Oh, Flippa, or whatever, right? Flippa? Is that who you're talking about? Did that dolphin talk? I don't know. I have a fun story about Flippa. I used to drink at this house when I was in Arizona. Cookouts and drinking, you know. It was a guy I think it was his sister's house. A guy I worked with at the prison. And they had this giant fucking light in the backyard that lit up the whole yard. And I'm like, what's with the fucking big stage light? And they're like, that actually was used on the TV show Flippa years ago. And I bought it at an auction in California. And it just kind of stayed with me. He goes, I bought it because it was a good light. Boy, was it. It fucking lit up the yard. One fucking light. One and done. You put the right filter on it. Holy shit. It was warm to stand next to it, too. Like, if you were directly under it, fuck that noise. Oh, no. I can't believe I did that. I thought I was going to get them all. I used to be able to do the whole up and down and get the fucking guys, but that never happens anymore. I think it's just because of old bad brains. Oh, fuck you. Do I see an off-grid? What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. But back to what I genuinely didn't think anyone would take that seriously. I genuinely didn't. And it ruffled two in particular. And one person took it a little too far with threats and shit. Not even in my space. I was watching Chuck stream. And they came in. They're like, that stunt that you fucking pulled. And I'm like, stunt? It was a fucking April Fool's joke, you fucking retard. And he said, you're on my list now. Or, okay, whatever that fucking means. But continue to talk about how I'm living in delusions and how I'm afraid of what is inside of it. Like, is there a monster in there that's gonna bite me? Because I'll be honest with you, I could open the console up, and just because I fucking solder does not know I mean shit. I know what the packs look like, and I know how to solder them to a board. I wouldn't know what the fuck I'm looking at anyway. It would look just as good as any other fucking piece of electronics I have, or just as bad. Oh, I was gonna try to get a few more points before going back up. But he ended up taking it to a fucking point where I ended up just blocking him. Literally blocked him through... Oh, shit, I forgot where I was. Guys, I apologize. Blocked him during the stream, in Chuck's thing. I was like, dude, you can be mad at me and say whatever you want. Just don't do it here. This is not my house. I'm in somebody else's home right fucking now, kid. I mean, I didn't say those exact words. I just said, not here. Leave it on my page. Leave it on my account. And then, Shut up. And then he just went on in the comment he left on my page. So I just fucking did the whole hide user from... I wish you could just block altogether. But I guess the way that works is they can still see the channel, but no one can see their comments. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But the fucking kid went like straight lunatic on me. Like straight lunatic. Showing the fucking mentality of some of these cunts. You know? I was nice to him for a little while. I knew better. I knew better. Because there's like a very, very, very small group of these dudes that do take some of this shit too serious. And they will take it to point. They're like, they'll call work, and they'll fucking, you know, they'll do all that shit. And thank God they're in California or wherever the fuck they are. This particular kid, I think. Because they're the type that would show up to your house, and I wouldn't worry about that so much. Aside from, it would get ugly. I would not even hesitate as soon as I open the door. Because just by showing up, I can claim that, you know, they were showing pre-fight indicators. Just by showing up. And that would get somebody fucked up, whether it be me or them. But somebody would get fucked up. Like, I wouldn't hesitate to go down the stairs with them instantly. If I could show up to my house. But it hurt my heart more than anything. That this person is in such a delusional state where they got that mad that they had to fucking make threats over a cocksucking joke. And I don't feel bad for them because that's just a fucking personality flaw. I mean, you know, they can work on it if they so choose to. But it's so bizarre to me that anyone even fucking... And I'm not picking on anyone who said, oh my God, you got me, because there were more you got me's than anything. I can't believe anyone fucking believed me. And I'm actually kind of proud of that. Maybe I should become a fucking troll. Maybe I should do that more often. But nobody, seriously, nobody take fucking offense to it. Here's the origins of me making that video, okay? It was no different than any other video I make. More times than not, I get an idea, and I make a video really fast about it. I don't plan anything usually. And that's why you don't see many videos from me anymore. I just haven't been inspired. I haven't been inspired by a discussion or by any games or, you know, I do have to pick one for this month's game, you know, year of the Atari game. What I'm doing there is once a month I'm playing a game until the end of the year that I feel like is a really popular game that doesn't really, or a really great game that doesn't really get much love. So when it comes to me actually making videos, something has to literally, this is the process. Let's go back in the chat. Let's go back in the chat mode. My process is exactly this, unless there's something I know that's coming. Not just doing it because he's a sponsor. Because JT, I think, is a good dude. I think his YouTube personality is, well, his content is poo-poo, but it's not for me. And evidently, I'm in the minority because he's got a big subscription. But for the most part, I don't plan a single fucking video I make. I don't plan a single fucking video. They're always, I have this idea, I grab this fucking thing, and I just do it. Right? If it goes further than that, I've had plenty of ideas that I thought would be wonderful. But because I didn't have the quiet house, or I wasn't home, or maybe, you know, whatever the reason is, they don't get made. Because if they're not made in the inspiring moment, then I question it, and then it gets boring. It gets boring for me, you know? And the idea doesn't seem good anymore. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes good stuff comes out of it, sometimes bad stuff comes out of it. So I was sitting there doing something on the computer real quick while figuring something out. It was another thing I'm researching on the side. And a notification came up from No Swear Gamer comparing this little cube, which ironically my daughter was playing with that at Target a couple of nights previously. I forget what it's called, but it's like this little white and pastel colored cube that's basically like a tiny Xbox Kinect. You use your hand. It worked actually really well. And while I was over looking at the collectible figures, hoping I could find a couple of tiny toonies, whatever the fuck they are, the little horror figures done in the Scooby-Doo, she was playing it, and I asked her, I said, did you have fun with that? She goes, yeah, and we looked at the price. I was like, ooh. But a television gamer uploaded a video yesterday jokingly comparing it to the Amico, which, oddly enough, it was scary. The connection was scary. Yes, the next. What's up, Potion? Keep smashing. Dude, you got to try this stuff. I mean, win it. You can win it. I'll let you win. Well, I won't let you win. You know what I mean. You got to get in on the giveaway. It's actually not bad. I can tell you're probably a guy who likes hot sauce. And that might 25% because of ethnicity. But I'm thinking more locality. California has a lot of really good Mexican food, as well as Arizona did. But I saw that video come up, and I'm watching it, and I'm laughing. First of all, it kind of made me sad because Phil isn't normally like that. Phil is a good Christian man. And there was something in his voice that I'd never heard before. Something a little darker than normal, but it was done in fun and good spirit with a little bit of hate. And I respect that. I was fucking cackling the whole fucking time, laughing my ass off. And I said to myself, you know what? It is April Fool's Day, and I don't really do these things. What can I do for an April Fool's gag? And of course, since the Amico was on the mind because of his video, I said, is there really anything I could do for this? And then the idea to pretend to open it up, and when I lifted it up, I was actually going to put my hand under there. But I'm like, they'll see my wrist. So the idea came. The thought happened in like 10 seconds. I went over to the copy machine, copied my finger, cut it out, got the console, and I had something else going on, so I just put it on top of that white thing. I probably should have done that for the hot sauce, because my table does look messy. There's a lot of stains and paint on it from years of working here. And actually, I do have a plan on, once we get a situation where I have like a shop, sanding this back down and restaining it. It was a nice table at one time. But as it were, as a creator, I fuck things up all the time. So I literally banged it out right then and there. The thought happened. The video was ready to upload in less than 45 minutes. And guys, unless it's a longer video that I have to really chop up, that's the extent of me making videos. I didn't have anyone in particular in mind. I knew it might ruffle a few feathers, but I genuinely didn't think anyone would take it seriously. I mean, I went over the top angry, to kind of like a caricature of, I know I can sound abrasive, but that's just where I'm from. A lot of people get taken back by how harsh East Coast guys. I mean, I'm talking not just Boston. We're talking New York. We're talking Pennsylvania. We're talking even some parts of Connecticut. But the whole East Coast thing. Sometimes we just sound a little harsher than we really in spirit are. And I guess it's just a product of our environment. There's a page on Facebook called Dirty Old Boston. I would highly recommend checking that out. Because I grew up in a gritty, dirty environment. You know what I mean? So, as we're raised in that, just look at, like, bands from the 90s. You know, and then listen to, like, Godsmack. And you hear that gritty difference, you know? It's still new metal and all that crap. But there is a darkness to it. So, I grew up in an area that was dirty, kicking the can, you know, people just roughhousing or fighting, all this shit, right? So I come across that way. So I said, you know what? I don't want people to take me seriously. So I literally, with the thumbnail and the title and in my tone, I'm laughing in the middle of the fucking thing. And then in the moment, I had to come up with a reason why I was laughing. I was laughing because the idea made me laugh that hard before I recorded the video. I thought it would be funny. I thought some people would go, God damn you. And that was about it. And other people would say, haha, that was funny. And then there was going to be that group of people that would be like, yeah, the fucking haters and all that. I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like, I'm going to get the haters. I don't fucking look at anything like that. I just had an idea that was fucking funny to me. And I knew some people would enjoy it. I knew it might ruffle a few feathers, but to get threats, to have some cocksucker fucking threaten me, you're on my list now? So I made the video and uploaded it, and I made it a caricature of my personality, my actual personality. Hoping that people would instantly know it was fucking stupid. And this one guy literally thought it was aimed at him specifically. Like, specifically. And went off about me being in delusions and fucking defending and whatever. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is I don't give it that much thought. I really don't. So if anyone thinks I'm targeting you, if I haven't said your name or made reference towards you, like let's say I want to make a video about the frog guy. I have no ill will towards that kid. Out of all of that, he's probably the least I like of all the groups, but I don't think about the kid. But if I were to like make a video about him, and if I didn't want to say his name, I would make like a ribbit noise in the background or something like that, you know? I'd be like, this fucking kid, ribbit. You know, I would do something like that, but it really wasn't aimed. And if anyone genuinely, haters, lovers, anyone in between, if it truly offended you, this is one of the genuine times I'm going to say, I'm sorry. But I didn't think anyone would take it serious to begin with. I didn't think anyone would take it that serious to fucking begin with. So, leaving it at that, I don't give a shit. I don't look at it that deep. I'm not afraid of what might be inside there because I wouldn't know better anyway. You know, I got one of my lightsabers here. This is one I got at Galaxy's Edge. I got to build this while doing the cinematic thing. $220. But you know what? With the whole cinematic and everything, it was worth it for one experience. I had it here for somebody needed a lesson on something, a tutorial on how to do something with it. So I put it out. I was going to make a video, but on Ticker Talks, but I chose not to out of anger for the phone company issue. But please understand that was meant in good humor because it was April Fool's Day, and I never really do that. And I was inspired by hopefully still a friend of mine, the No Swear Gamer. He's a really good dude. He's taken care of me over the years. And since the Amico stuff, we haven't really chatted much. But I may make fun of some of the people who still make content on it. I respect that man with all of my heart. He's a fucking wonderful human being. And his channel will forever, as long as the internet exists, and this platform allows people to watch videos, will 100% always be one of the most valuable retro gaming resources that ever existed. So if anyone took offense to that, thinking it was aimed at them, it wasn't. You're not that important to me, okay? On a positive or a negative. Poacher says, I'm into mild, medium heat. Oh, interesting. I'm all about the flavor. Ricky's has a good quality product. Thick sauce, not watered down. And you know what? I don't know if you saw the video I made yesterday. That's a great example. I got the stuff. I made a video real quick, and I actually considered editing out some things and redoing it because I'm like, this is trash. This video, I mean, it's a fucking close-up of me, but the reason I did that was because I hit the screen change in real time so no one could go, you changed that out for something, or you emptied the spoon before putting it in your mouth. I wanted it to be real-time reaction, you know? And if I didn't like it, unfortunately, I was going to say something. But the flavor does dominate. The flavor dominates. And it comes in stages. It's fucking weird. You know, first you get that pepper, that strong earth pepper taste. And some peppers kind of have a nauseous taste to them at first, and scorpion pepper is one of those. And I expected that. But then you got this sensation of smoke, almost like, I don't even want to call it a flavor, like you just got this overwhelming, in a good way, smoky vibe to it from the habanero, which is my favorite of them all. And then, after a few minutes of being able to enjoy the nodes of the flavors, the heat didn't hit you like, say, a hot sauce does. It radiated in. And it was really hot. It was really hot. But as you saw, nothing I couldn't handle. Not because I'm a tough guy, but because I'm stupid enough to consume this shit. Even though I probably shouldn't. And if you've never seen my Pocky One Chip Challenge I did live for the Alzheimer's Association, one year you guys got me almost double my goal. I think my goal was 1,000. We got like 2,300 that year. So I know it can fucking happen. I know it can fucking happen. I did the chip live, and I had eggnog, I had milk, and I had eggnog ice cream ready to go. And I didn't fucking touch one of those until after I stopped the stream. But I will say this. My stomach and my whole digestion system and my appetite was fucked up for the next 2-3 weeks. Everything I ate made me throw up. And everything, it was a horrible experience afterwards. And it tasted probably one of the worst things. The only way I can describe the Pocky chip is it tasted like what rotten meat smells like. It was so horrible. It was so horrible. But yeah, I'm actually interested in trying a couple more of his products. But according to Smash, this is supposed to be his hottest product. And if this is the hottest product, his Phantasma must be easy, because that's supposed to be a ghost pepper. And isn't that worse than Scorpion? I don't know. I'm not really in the know as to the scolds. Is that what they call it? The scolds scare or something? Tears? Did people get offended by your Miko video? I already knew it was a joke. Yeah, I know. One person in particular really just wouldn't shut up. He boom, 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 boom. And then he came at me in Chuck's stream yesterday and told me I was on some kind of list now. So I ended up just pushing him aside, just hit the block button and moved on with it. And then after that, I found out that my phone company added a line to my fucking phone bill, and that's when I fucking popped my lid. I popped my fucking lid. About the next, though, the games are subscription-based only. You cannot buy them individually, so you'll always have a monthly payment to play your games. Oh, that's too bad. I don't think I would ever buy it, because I don't think it would be used more than maybe a week in my house. You know what? I maybe I'll take that back. It could actually get some really good use. But my daughter had a great time with it while I was looking at action figures and shit. My daughter was playing the heavy tech while I was looking at toys. How fucked up is that? I've had more toys in this house that were mine than these fucking kids ever did. I don't know. I play with them more than they ever do, too. I actually thought that you would open it up. I'm gullible as shit. It's not about gullibility. I can be convincing, I suppose. All right, so when I worked at the prison system, and this is not to say I do this to you guys, okay? I'm genuine most of the time. I pride myself on my genuineness, be it good or bad for me. And whenever we would have a call, my last handful of years, I didn't work directly with the units. I was on what they call the CERT team, Sheriff's Emergency Response, or in juvenile it was called security. But we had the fucking uniform and the duty belts and all the shit dangling from you as you're walking. You're looking like you're about to fucking invade Poland. Actually, they weren't that series of uniforms like the Stadies here, but which, by the way, influenced those uniforms over in Germany. Massachusetts State Troopers. How fucked up is that? Because they're so opposing. But we would get into a situation, and I got so good at negotiating with these cats, because I walked in there not saying this guy's being bad or this guy's doing something naughty. I'm going to use those words just to lighten it up. I walk in there saying there's something going on here with this person, this human being, and let's get to that. And once we do that and we satisfy that if we can, if not, assure them that it'll get satisfied somehow, then we can deal with this. It may take a little longer than just running in there with our fucking sticks and shit, gassing them out, or just, there was this thing that we used to do in serious situations where we would have all the suits on, and the fucking shield and all that, and the idea was all 6 of us would go into the cell until we could all touch the back wall. I didn't necessarily agree with that kind of a situation, so I would always take lead. And more times than not, we wouldn't have to use any kind of force, be it chemical, mechanical, physical, any of that shit. And I'm not saying that to brag, but No, fuck you. I'm bragging about that. Absolutely, I'm bragging. I'm going to give myself a shoulder hit for that one. And I kept a lot of people safe because that's what my job description was. And people would say, you need to you need to sell cars. And I did it as an experiment for 1 month for this Ford truck dealership out in Arizona. I made some money, and I actually almost stuck with it. But when there was nobody on the lot, they made us go into this room. They called it the Business Development Center. It was basically a bunch of phones where you cold called a bunch of people that had been in the dealership within the last 2 years. You know, when you first go in there, they take your initial information down, what you're looking for. They put that in a box, and some dickhead will call you like 2 years later. I only got one sale from that. One. And it's because the guy fucked up his Ford Ranger. His motherfucking Ford Ranger! Like 2 days before I called. And of course, I was more empathetic to the accident and hoping he was okay. But he's like, I'm actually thinking about getting a car. I'm like, are you well enough? I said, I can, you know. He's like, yeah, no, I'm fine. The car just got fucked up. I said, I'll be right there. I hopped in a Mustang. I just wanted to drive a Mustang. We had a couple of really nice fucking built-up cars. No Shelbys or anything like that, but we had some really nice built-up cars on the lot, as well as the pickups and the commercial trucks and stuff like that. So I suppose, in a way, after saying all that, I can be convincing in my anger, I guess. But if I was really that angry, I would not do it that publicly. I really wouldn't. Maybe I would say, hey, look, guys, you know what? No, I would have kept it private. If I were to have talked to John and he would have upset me that much, it would have been private. It would have been private. I would have just said, fuck these people and moved on with my life. And I even messaged him before and said, I'm literally about to hit go on a video. You are the target in the April Fool's part of it. So don't get upset. And he's like, I don't care. It's funny. I have the Discord tab up here, and it's because of that. Just the back in the days when the testing was like really going on. And he's messaged me, like, and I never go into Discord. And I'll go in there and it'll be like 3 months ago he sent me a message. and it just so happened that I had been in there a couple of days before that. And that's why John came to mind to make that video. You know, if I hadn't talked to John, I probably would have used Tommy. And had I thought properly in the moment, I probably should have used Tommy, because he was the big selling point of hating or loving or whatever the case may be. But in short, it was a clickbait April Fool's joke with nobody specific in mind. But it's not about being gullible, dude. It's not about being gullible. I can be convincing, I suppose. And again, given my locale and how we come off as abrasive, it can sound genuine, I guess, or hurt people's feelings, and I do apologize for that. This is a genuine time where I will apologize to haters and lovers alike. It was not meant for anything more than a fucking April Fool's joke. It was just an April Fool's joke and not targeted at anybody. I wouldn't do that. I would actually mention the person's name. Hey, what's going on, Camaro? Long time no see, man. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. The pepper hit you like Billy Mitchell's lawsuit. Did you get that little joke I did in the video? I said, yeah, I can see why they call it vendetta. I can feel the vendetta, and I can taste the lawsuits brewing. See, even when I'm being nice, I have to fucking throw a little bit of a prick in there. But it's just more in fun. Come on, guys. How can you take this fucking dude seriously? Don't take this seriously. Unless I'm doing something serious, like actually trying to get you to donate to the Alzheimer's Association. We have prizes. Oh, I'm blocking them both. We have a signed Smash bottle by Billy Mitchell and JT himself. Drama galore. We have the play date, sponsored by our one and only good friend, Potion Sword Run. And I'm glad you're making those vlogs on that video game that you're making, buddy. It was really cool seeing the code and knowing I'm too stupid to know what was in it. And I mean that genuinely and in a good light. But it was really great watching you explain, here's my little ship, the asset or the sprite, and you manipulating it while seeing the code and everything, And then explaining that I got this far and this thing looks so good. I don't think you said it that way. I'm saying it that way. But there's like this little thing in the code that I just can't fucking figure out. I don't know how to get the stars to fucking jerk me off, whatever it was. I like that just as much as I like watching the successes, because without the trials, it's kind of that old biblical thing where the steel has to go through fire and stone before it becomes a solid tool to be used. And I like seeing the realities of what's going on behind the scene. You don't have to tell us about every fucking trial and tribulation unless you want to. But genuinely, that video was really great. I liked it. I was listening to it while spraying a clear coat on my guitar body. And then I got so into it, I said, you know what? I rewound it and watched it right here afterwards, like from beginning to end again. So I could see what you were talking about, because it was interesting that much to me. The peppers hit you like Billy Mitchell. Okay, we got that. Scovilles. I want to live in Scovilles. Okay, it's a Scoville unit. I'll still call it a scold. How bad is it going to scold me? Do you do buffalo wings, Creep? I do. As a matter of fact, I went out last night and got a big bag of raw wings to put in my air fryer. And I'm absolutely going to put Ricky's on it tonight. I keep hot sauce in the house, but it's always either like Tapatio or Frank's or something like that. The only thing with Frank's is I think it's thicker than Tapatio. Tapatio is basically just a vinegar pepper sauce. Same shit that we had in our pepper spray. Honestly, you can and eat it if you wanted to. And we did. We would do that to be macho men. Like, one guy would give it a little and eat it, and I go, and the next guy would fucking dump the button. No, he wouldn't do that, but it was a male macho thing. A bunch of knuckle draggers bored at 3 a.m. in a prison yard where nothing's happening but crickets, and we had a skunk that would come into the yard when the sprinklers would come on. And this fucking skunk would just go and jumping in it was the most wonderful thing. Here I am in one of the most horrible environments on the planet. They're sleeping, but surrounded by murderers and rapists and people who would rob you, and a lot of people who just got caught up in the wrong thing. And you have gang members, and you have fucking, whatever. And then at 3 a.m, everything's quiet. You're smoking a butt. I used to be a cigarette smoker. I quit sometime, actually May of, might be 5 or 6 years ago now. I don't even count. I don't care. But I just know I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, and I miss it every day. But it was nice just to sit there in the quiet, smoking your butt, and watching this skunk, this animal that most people would dismiss as a piece of shit, just jumping in the fucking water and then the sprinklers and just having a good time. And then the sprinklers would turn off and it would shake, and then I don't know how it got in. I don't know how it got out. But it did. So it's wonderful. But yeah, I love fucking buffalo wings, dude. I have one disadvantage when it comes to buying buffalo wings. But I will. I'll still eat. I used to eat them like Billy Mitchell does in his commercials. God, ever fucking since I made that video, Facebook and YouTube has been inundated with Billy Mitchell eating fucking wings. And the funny thing about it is it keeps talking about a sale that ends on March 31st. And I got one today. I'm like, well, that sucks. That sucks. What if I wanted that sale special? But yeah, oh God, yeah, I love me a good wing. Last night, I bought a frozen Detroit pizza in my little shopping thing, and I put some of that on there. This particular one, I don't think is very good on a pizza, only because of there's just flavor conflicts, if you will. It tastes great, the pizza tastes great, but it was just one of those things where this specific flavor, the vendetta sauce, I don't think it went well with the pizza, but I know my Tapatio and stuff, and his basic buffalo sauce or hot sauce probably tastes just fine on it. But kick ass, absolutely. So Ricky's wouldn't go well with wings. I think it would go very well with wings. Absolutely. And you know what? A lot of places, what they'll do is they'll take like a Frank's red sauce and they'll melt butter into it. And I think that's for a binder. They put that as a binder so the sauce stays thick on the wing and it drips off and everything. But it also mellows it out, and I don't like that. I think this stuff is going to be good for that. Frank's is too vinegary. Yeah, compared to Ricky's Original. Have you had Ricky's Original? Hey, what's up, Con? What's going on, my friend? Better on tacos, maybe. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine on tacos. I know it was great on the egg. It was really good on the egg. I all night I just kept doing this. In fact, I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. Boom. Red finger. It really is good. I like it. Like I said, you get that weird off-putting taste from the scorpion pepper, like at first, like it's only a second, but then it the flavor just rolls in, and then the heat radiates. It's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. As a matter of fact, I did get some taco stuff, not because of the hot sauce, but because I like tacos, white boy tacos with the little powder and the. I don't have time to fucking marinate carne asada. Yeah, Ricky's Original is awesome. My favorite hot sauce. I did a taste test against Cholula. I do like Cholula too. In my other flavor. I've had 357 Magnum sauce on my tacos. And my face turned purple. And like Potion was saying earlier, and I forgot to bring that back up. And I've said this a few times when we talked about hot sauces, which are very limited. I don't mind a hot sauce that'll fucking melt your face, but it has to taste good. I don't want something that's hot just to say, dude, that was so hot, I'm a big man. I want to fucking taste it. I want something that tastes good. And if it has if it has a ton of heat behind it, I can either take it or I don't take it. And it doesn't, as long as it tastes good, it's supposed to fucking taste good. It's supposed to add flavor to your meal, whatever you're eating, right? Or enhance it. Unfortunately, pepper sometimes hides flavors. And I'm talking even, your table pepper. And salt is one of those things that will enhance a flavor. It's so weird how spices work like that. Get over here, dickhead. Oh shit, I didn't think I was going to do that. Boop. Shoot you in the bum. Get you in the bum. Get you in the bum. But it was goddamn hot. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse than something that's just so hot and painful. Like that Pocky Chip Challenge or whatever. That had no flavor, or a horrible flavor would even be worse. Like the Pocky Chip Challenge. I described it as what rotting flesh tastes like. Or the smell. The smell of decomposition. What it would taste like. Not to gross anyone out. Not to gross anyone out, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, aha, I got them before they got even one shot off. Being a little stingy with the divers today, are we? Let me get this guy real quick. My aunt owned a tavern. It's under new ownership. She had an awesome taco maker, but this buddy of mine, she was pissed. Oh, man. I like pranks. I fucked myself there, didn't I? I put myself in my own malarkey. I do it to myself. I learned it by watching me. Okay? I learned it by watching me. So, okay, let me ask you a question. Did anyone find the video funny? Because I did watch it afterwards and like, wow, that is a pretty harsh. I was pretty harsh there at the end. I was just supposed to go, April Fools! And then for some reason, some subconscious, you obsessed fucks. I was like, that might have been a little harsh, but whatever. I hope somebody laughed. If I got one laugh, it was worth it. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Douchebags will douchebag. Fuck. Oh. He thought he was going to get me. I want to give him some false hope. You gotta give people hope sometimes, you know? That could have been real fucking ugly right there. What the fuck was I doing? Alright, so now what I'm going to do is... Oh, fuck! I didn't mean to do that. My thumb slipped. My thumb slipped. What I was going to try to say is... Fuck. Now I'm all panicky. So now I'm just going to stay down here. And just re-oxygen when I need to. I'm going to mow things down. I know you get better points by doing the other stuff, but I don't mind taking the low, slow road. Oh, I was going to wait to get between them and go boom, boom. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. I got dieted. I got fucking dieted. No, I don't want to get this guy. Fuck. Oh, no, that was a bad place to be. Oh, I had my finger pushing on the down button so hard. So hard. Come on, dude. That is one thing that Casey was saying. What triggers the guys to go forwards and backwards when you shoot? And I always thought it was if they were so close to the edge of the screen that they would turn around. But it happens even when that's not the case. Oh, I was hoping to get all three of them at the same time. I like doing that. I like playing chicken. Oh, fuck. I like playing the chickens with the submarines. I was saying earlier, if anyone wasn't in here, Casey didn't know if these were like mermaids or whatever we were saving. And like, how cool would it be to make like an X-rated version of this where every like 5,000 points you're rewarded with the mermaid orgy? Oh, fuck. You know what? Let's just do it. Get the fuck over here. Ungrateful fucking dude. I'm gonna let you out of the fucking boat. The submarine. My yellow submarine. There must have been a lot of herbal shenanigans going on. Some beetle action going on when he was playing this. Or coding this. So I know a lot of you guys don't fucking like AI, and I don't for a lot of things too. I hate it when people use it for like exclusive content, or they even try to sell it as art. But I've been asking it to teach me how to program for Atari, and it's so hard. I guess it's way harder than in television. So I said, could you teach me how to program for in television? Instead of reading a book and not being able to get anything out of it. I kind of stopped that. Because I didn't want to get into a fucking situation where I'd be like, you know what, you just do it. This is what I want. Plus, I don't know, I have an emulator for fucking Intellivision, and I can't get it to work. I can't get it to fucking work. Every time I pull it up, it just gives me like coding things, and I'm putting the games in the right files according to what it wants. I don't know. Let me see what it's called. Give me a minute here. I'll tell you what it's called. Well, I got a ton of Intellivision ROMs on my computer that I can't put on my RTO flash card to play because I don't have a bin file for it with the configuration file. Ah! Oh. I can't aim to save my fucking life here. Which, in some cases, is literal. Megantron! What is going on? What's the good word? What do you say? What do you know? My dad used to say that all the time. What do you say? What do you know? My dad was definitely a product of the fucking late 50s, early 60s, man. That fucking dude was a greaser to the end. He didn't look like one. He became a proper business-looking fucking guy. Oh, come on, stupid thumbs. Man, my thumbs suck. It's not what my mom said. I was pretending to be someone else, not me. That's fucked up. But he was definitely a product of that time. Whenever I would get, and it didn't happen a lot, maybe I should reword that, but the few times I got into like a fender bender, he'd be like, what are you worried about? That's just custom by Crunch. It's a custom by Crunch. Custom by Crunch. Like that, fucking half my car is crunched. Had an 81 Buick Century Limited. That was actually a fun car. It was only a 3.8, you know. That typical six-cylinder that GM used in fucking everything. Including the Grand National. They just gave it I believe they gave it oh shit. Fuck you for scaring me. I think they just gave it oh, they put a fucking turbo in it, of course, but I think the cylinder walls are a little bigger than your standard 3.8. I believe it was injected too. I don't think those were carbureted. Were they? Were they aspirated? I know that doesn't mean aspiration. I just like saying that. Naturally aspirated. Or maybe it does. I don't know. What the fuck do I know about engines? But, I don't know. That was a nice car. But I rolled that car. I fucking rolled it. And my dad said that to me. He's like, that's a custom by Crunch. Don't worry about it. Fuck! I didn't do that on purpose. My thumb slipped. I know I say this at least once every stream, but my fucking D-pad is chrome. Who the fuck puts chrome on a D-pad? Power A fucking does with pricks. I want to get some truck bed liner and just spray my D-pad with it. Give it some serious grip. Because this isn't a bad controller for a cheapie. It's like a $30 fucking Switch controller. The only problem is it's corded and doesn't have that rumble feature shit. I mean, it's really bare bones. But as you can see, for the most part, I can play just fine. Remember when I had the Atari Modern controller? That fucking thing glitched all the time. That fucking thing just did whatever the fuck it wanted. Fucking hated that controller so much. Still have it. Still hate it. I know a lot of people like the VCS, but I've had nothing but bad experiences with it. Updates, no updates, firmwares, your mother's ass, all of it. All of it. It's not been a fucking pleasurable experience at all. I got a lot of really fun games on there. We need to finish that haunted house game that we started fucking 240 years ago. Fucking hell. I really want to fucking... I had so much fun being frustrated by that game. And you guys had fun watching me get frustrated. You know, that's the name of the game, kids. You know? See, I like to play chicken. I like to see if I can get them all before I get blasted. Before I get master blasted. Like that. And then I'll come behind like a little bitch and do that. I used to be able to get almost six figures in this game. There was a time. Oh shit. There we go. Perfect timing. I'll get to the chat here in a minute, guys. I know I don't need to say that. But something in my head tells me you guys think I'm ignoring you. That's called anxiety disorder, fuckers. We don't let it rule though, right? We fucking take our little maggoty coping skills. Maggot with an M. Maggot with an M. And we just go on with our lives. Sometimes it wins, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Oh shit. I had a wall of fucking teeth coming at me. I'm jealous. Fucking jealous. I wish I had shark teeth. See, now that it knows I don't want to collect any fucking divers and I just want to mow down things, it's going to force feed me fucking divers. Alright, we'll do it. We'll go up now. Because you do get more points if you go up when your oxygen is fucking loaded up. It's going to start getting fucking tricky dicky here. Ha! See that? I did something right for once. Someone please tell my mommy. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. I tried to shoot at them. I'm surprised that thing hasn't come around yet. Nice, I got lucky there. I think 75,000 is where you earn the patch. I believe that was it. You know, Richard Haywood used to have a really good series where he would try to, like, legit earn the patch. And then he would either purchase it slightly beforehand and not open it until he got the patch official. Or he would earn it afterwards. I don't remember how he did it exactly. But I believe he started that series with this game. Come on, get the fucking dude. What the fuck is mad with you? What the fuck is your malfunction, numbnuts? What is your major malfunction? Didn't mommy show you enough fucking love? Shit. That's a fantastic movie. Sad movie. Starts off fun. Gets real ugly real fast. What the fuck is this? A jelly donut, sir. And are you allowed to have food in the fucking barracks? No, sir. Are you allowed to have jelly donuts, Pile? Sir, no, sir. And why not? Because I'm overweight, sir. Because you're a disgusting fat body, Pile. I'm a fat kid, so I can make fun of fat kids. That's how it works, right? Oh, man. That was just me being stupid. Oh, come on, you prick. Your mother. Oh, shit, I was facing the wrong way. I'm just wasting fucking... I almost said tanks. Oh, come on, I was lined up with that. Alright, fuck this game. This game can suck a duck. Oh, let's see. Your buddy ruined Taco Tuesday. In some cases, maybe, yeah. I saw him doing it. I knew Gave it a go. Did you like it? Yeah, that was a good troll video. I appreciate that. I thought it was cute. I smiled. I'm glad. It wasn't mentioned any hate. You were thinking of Salty, and some bads were uploaded. You know what? He's the one who came at me. Since someone had brought it up. They're the ones who came at me thinking it was all about them, honestly. And instead of just like being butthurt about it, also went on to how delusional I was and living in some kind of a fucking bubble, and I don't know. Is it JZINT? I did have that one, I believe. Hold on, let me minimize everything. I'm gonna get rid of this game too. Yeah, it's JZINT, and when it comes up, this little box comes up, and it looks very code-like to me, and it's very scary. But there's like folders where it says ROM, and then it says like, config and bin files, and so I'm dragging all this shit into these folders, and I go to, I don't know how to use any of it. I don't even know how I got Stella to work as well as I did. And I think that's the thing. Atari's harder to program for because you're literally writing each line, each scan line, I believe. But for some reason, emulating in television, I don't know. I tried a different one, and every time I would do it, it would expand my screen to a fucking... Off the computer, that fucking thing went. Did a quick scan, make sure everything was good, and have a nice day. I think the files in files can create config files for your bins. Oh, really? Okay. Very cool. Howdy, Megan. I wouldn't even know how to do that. I really need to just give somebody I trust access to my computer and then PayPal them like $50 or whatever and be like, can you make this happen? Because if you remember correctly, a long time ago when I first started streaming this way, it was on a Mac. It wasn't like the big MacBook. It was a Mac Air or something like that. Mac Air Pro, or I don't know. But it was a really nice laptop. It was an Apple product, and I'm not a fan of it. But it came with a buddy of mine who I'm, again, not friends with anymore, and that was all political stuff. I got a little mouthy at one point, and he rightfully so walked away. I said some pretty harsh shit. But he was an extraordinarily good friend, and it was a big loss. And I do regret it to this day, but he said, I need you to start streaming games. Never mind putting your phone in front of something. I want you to stream. I'm like, dude, I don't know how to do any of this shit. So he literally went into his garage. That's what he does for a living. He's in IT. He works for a big company and does stuff. But he has a ton of those Mac Airs or whatever. And he set it up for me. He set up the IBS. He set up the OBS. He set up this thing called OpenMU with all the stuff already ready to go. And we enjoyed that for a number of years, by the grace of him. And I spilled something into the fucking computer, and it's just been dead since. It's been dead since. I brought it somewhere, and they're like, no, sorry, buddy. This thing has shed its mortal coil. And ever since, I've been chasing ROMs. I know a lot of people don't like emulation, and I don't care. I just want to play the games. It's got nothing more to do than that. And if that's what I got to do to play the games, then fuck your feelings. That I don't have the gobs of money to go out there and buy the cartridges, I would like to do, what is the big one? It's RetroArch. And I've had RetroArch, and I've been able to get a few games here and there to play. But for the most part, it's like you pick all these emulations, and you pick this, and then you got to go find the ROMs and somehow deliver it into that. And some of them come through, some of them don't. And again, I think a lot of it is this right here. Software has just never been my thing. We were talking about RBase a couple of days ago. And because I had to use that regularly, I learned its language. But if I'm not consistently using it, it's gone. And I had those commands written down on paper too, open all where at fro. I can still remember some of it, And then it would give me this list I'd print up on my dot matrix with with the little dots on the side and you pull the perforations off, man. I'm an old fucking dog, dude. I'm an old fucking dog. But I have some games on here. Like, I still can't get Galaxian to work on my retro, or my Pi RTO 2 or whatever it is. He keeps trying to reconfigure it and everything. And you know, I genuinely appreciate it. I at one point just like, dude, I paid $15 for the game. I have the ROM. If I can figure out emulation or when I get my Sprint, I'll be able to play it. It's not a big deal. It was only $15, dude. Stop going above and beyond. I appreciate it, but you've done more than enough for me, dude. You've done more than enough for me. So I have like that game. And I have, hold on, let me minimize my screen here. I have the new Space Intruders. And a couple of others. I got a whole bunch of others. Phoenix, which that actually worked on my cart. That actually worked. I have ET, which is also on my cart. What is this? INTV Roma. Oh, Astro Smash Competition. I got and Intellivision Gamer keeps pushing me towards I shouldn't say pushing me, but keeps suggesting a source of free games, a ton of free games, which I have saved in my starred items or my saved pages. But I haven't downloaded any of them because I don't know if any of them are going to fucking work on the cartridge. And I don't want a ton of fucking ROMs on here that's not going to be used because I'll forget about them. So when I get my Sprint and I can put a bunch of games, I still have my Decepticon transforming stick here. I'm not going to transform the whole fucking thing, but you get the idea. It's a hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. You know, I have this in honor of Megantron. Megantron. I'm just kidding. I've had this longer than I've even known about you. I don't want anyone to feel special because you're all unique and special, every one of you. But it is a Decepticon. I have this ready to go. I just need to get a Sprint, and I'm happy with my purchase. I had the choice between a Sprint or the guitar kit I purchased, and I'm happy with that purchase. I'm not butthurt at all. You know, I can play Intellivision. I have Intellivision cartridges. I have that flash cart that has all the 125 plus a handful of the homebrews I've been able, like I have Keystone Cops. I got that one from Brian's Man Cave. That one was gifted to me from him. He sent that one along to me because he wanted me to play it. I offered to send him some money. He's like, it's a fucking file. Just play the fucking game. Plus, it gave him some exposure, too. All 40 people who may have watched that video. I think the file's okay. Howdy, Megan. Ha ha ha, you said fuck. I say fuck all the time. I got it to work on my computer. Nice. Try that, Creep. Try what? There's nothing for me to try. I don't know how. Emulation is fine. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I don't have a problem with it either. Especially games that are as old as I am. Get the fuck out of here with your gatekeeping bullshit. Get the fuck... Like, people literally get, like, mad. I've been toying with the idea of making a video called Fandom is Stupid. Because my theory on a lot of fandom, and not even so much just in the gaming community. Yeah, we have gatekeepers, of course. Every group of any kind of revered thing has its gatekeepers, has its loose people, and has everything in between. And that's just a given. That's just how fandom works. But, like, I'm a big fan of the Disney Haunted Mansion. And I belong to a few Haunted Mansion groups. And I've seen over the course of the last decade and a half that it has become more about stuff than the topic. Like, whenever something comes out with the fucking hitchhiking ghost, everyone goes fucking crazy. Oh, I gotta go get it. Oh! And it becomes more about collecting stuff, which is what gaming is, right? But there's a reason why you collect games, so you can play the individual games. So some people collect them just to have them, but some people just like collecting things. But it's like a lot of fandom has become about purchasing things that have the image of that thing. And it's getting kind of annoying. It's like, I just want to enjoy this same thing with you guys. I love the Haunted Mansion. Here's a few pictures. Here's that. And the occasional, oh my God, I found this in a store somewhere. How cool is this item? But it's like every couple of weeks there's a new fucking thing coming out from this company or this company or this company. A new book, a new magazine, a new action figure. God damn, when the Hallmark goddamn fucking things come out. The things for the Christmas tree, the ornaments. That don't even fucking stay on the tree anyway because they're just so bulbous and heavy. They go out of their fucking minds and everyone's... The popcorn buckets. I wanted the Ghost Trap popcorn bucket. And I went in there and the guy snarked at me and like, dude, these have been sold out since before we even had the movie. I'm like, really? So I can't enjoy the experience of going to the movie and getting the one stupid little thing I wanted as part of the experience because all these fucking blowhards have to fucking have it now. And shame on you for releasing it that early and creating. I put a lot of it on the corporations and shit, but creating that FOMO kind of bullshit. No, that's not FOMO. Yeah, fear of missing out. I'm thinking of find around, fuck around, all that shit. But you know, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Fandom has become so dumb. I'm going to take the time and energy to be a snob about anything. It's my coffee. Yeah, there you go. Coffee snobs. As long as you're not a Starbucks fan. I grew up with Dunks. That's all we had. Dunks are like ticks. They multiply by masturbating. You know what I mean? They're fucking everywhere. I'm surprised there isn't a Dunks on my roof. Or in my ass. Well, there will be soon. Actually, this is Folgers. No, it's Maxwell House this week. Breakfast blend. Mixed with a little bit of Colombian. I don't go that crazy with my coffee, but I do like a good coffee. I remember one year my roommate, this chick that I rented a room from, she had a whole house, like a 3-bedroom. Like it was a double-wide manufactured thing in the middle of the desert, but it was a nice little place with a great yard, right? And she got me this coffee pack, and they were like a couple of Jack Daniels ones. They weren't alcoholic. They were just, branded that way. But there was one Southern Comfort one, which I actually love Southern Comfort. That's one of my favorite weaker liquors. I like mixing it with Pepsi, cherry Pepsi. It's a little sweet if you don't like sweets. But a shot of that with a glass of cherry Pepsi or even Dr. Pepper, it's really good. It's really, really, really... It goes down a little too easy, though. You could get fucked up by accident drinking that. But there was a Southern Comfort one that was a red label, and it was just like two pots worth, and that was so fucking good. I've yet to ever be able to find it again. I don't even know what it was. I didn't even look to see who made it. I just put the thing in my deal, threw the package away, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good." And by then, the garbage man had already come and taken the shit. You need MAME Retro. I think someone has already said that. Oh, I can play OG Galaga and all that stuff, and Miss Pac-Man. I can play all that. But I'm talking about all these Intellivision ROMs I have. I really wanted to play Galaga on, or Galaxian rather, for the Intellivision by now. It's one of my favorite games. In fact, in a minute here, I'll go in and play it here on Atari. You guys are probably sick and fucking tired of seeing that game, but I prefer MAME. Yeah. And a chunky like scripture. Okay. They mad because they paid. You know what? I guess there's some truth to that, but still. They chose to do it. They didn't have to do it. The option was there, so I can't really feel bad for them. I didn't mean to get into a discussion for or against. I really didn't. I just know there are those people, and I'm really good friends with one who's like that. This kid named Mike. Really big in television, dude. Really nice guy. He loves his records. He's always sharing what albums he's got and all this. And I believe he's also a ball python owner as well. Keeper, if you will. Keeper of the slither. I'm a snake. Slippery, slippery snake. You guys remember that guy? But he'll go off on you about fucking emulating, and he's learned that I just don't give a shit enough to tell me about it. Age gating. I think a few of you at 53 years old, but we're in the same ballpark. Yeah, I'm 51 now. I know, right? Violation. Great stuff. Creep. Within the command prompt with the blah, blah, blah bin files, the command is... I don't know. You just put 3 dots, 4 dots. Is that the command, or are you just asking? I don't know. I'm good with downloading high quality, yeah, in box art. I haven't really gone that far with that one. Times creep.rom. There's a different screen modes. Leave the Z1 or the X1. I think you hit the F1 key will exit you out. All right, I'll try that. People getting FOMO over Trader Joe's tote bags. Really? See, I don't shop at like Trader Joe's because one, the only one I know of around me is inconvenient to get to. And I don't know if it is this kind of place, honestly. And again, I don't mean to insult anyone. But it just seems like a pretentious kind of place that a guy like me just wouldn't get along. There's a certain culture I just don't, my personality doesn't get along with. For no reason whatsoever, But it is next to a PetSmart that I'll once in a while go to get feeder rats for my buddy here, because it's hard to get them around here now. The only reptile shop I had, closed down, about 4 or 5 months ago. And I'd go in there and buy like 10 frozen rats for like $35. This guy was awesome. And I have to get the large ones because Alucard's a big boy. I mean, he's not huge or anything. He's not like a big reticulated python. People feed those fucking things rabbits and shit. And it's just like, that's a lot of money every week. And that's a big snake. That's a lot of terrarium you need. Guess what, punk? Today's episode of Sesame Street is brought to you by the letter D. D for D-bag. I'm just kidding. We're only as old as we act. I never grew past 15. I'll admit it. I've heard similar stories about IKEA, big blue bags. Yeah, and you remember, I don't know if I can really say this to the whole Stanley Cup thing, because that's not like a fandom thing, but it came out and got real popular. So I guess that's more of a trend. But fandom has just been about stuff. If you look, see that black shelf right there? The very top of that has a ton of Haunted Mansion stuff. A ton. And that's about all I really need. And I piece those together here and there. You fucking talk about fandom. You see this fucking mess right here? Those are all Funko Pops, just kind of haphazardly put on top of a filing cabinet. Those are all my ladies. And I keep saying, let's get a shelf for it. She's like, I'll do something with them someday. And I know if I do anything with it, I'm going to get yelled at. And I don't want to get yelled at. Because as if you were here in the beginning of the stream, no, she's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, she's a very short Italian woman. And you should fear that. You should fucking fear that. Love the woman to death, and more times than not, I'm okay. But if she fucking, if her face starts getting red and shit, that's it. I'd rather get fucked up the ass by a nuclear weapon with barbed wire wrapped around it, covered in AIDS. I don't know. Not to be disrespectful. Didn't have to fucking deal with that bullshit. So, the living room's really nice. But we have this pile of fucking Funko Pops right here. But over here's my shelf, which has like my lightsabers and all my Star Wars Lego on the top, and the bottom has some of the kids' stuff. And I keep telling her I want to bring it into the sunroom. She's like, no, I kind of like it. As a matter of fact, if you go to a lot of my earlier videos, that's the same shelf that used to have all my gaming stuff on it, that I would stand in front of to do discussion topics. But I've since put all the games into the sunroom, which hopefully we'll be able to go in soon enough. Like the weather here has been warm, cold. And I fear turning on these old machines in the cold because, regardless of how minimal, they'll still heat up a little bit, the processors or whatever, and it'll sweat, and then it'll fry. And turning on something when it's cold is a fucking death sentence, even in modern electronics. So don't do it. But once it gets nice in there, I can just have a fan going. We'll be good. Sorry, stepped away. But yeah, man. MAME plays the original arcade versions of Galaga and Pac-Man. Yeah, I've had MAME on here before. I've had it. I've not on this computer, but I've had MAME before. MAME is awesome. I've had fantasies of making my own MAME cabinet, but I don't know. Every now and again, a free cabinet will come up, and I say to myself, where am I going to put it here in this 2-bedroom apartment? And when the fuck am I ever going to get to it? You know, I do have an old XP machine downstairs that would be perfect for that, but I don't know. But yeah, no, MAME is awesome. I love MAME. Have you ever played the original Phoenix? I didn't know it was. I kind of knew, I think, but I didn't remember, and I wasn't very familiar with the actual arcade cabinet for Phoenix. You want to be punished? You want to be punished? Are you a fucking masochist? Do you like it when people shove pineapples in places they shouldn't be, and you enjoy that kind of pain? I encourage you to try Phoenix from the original arcade. God be with you. God be with you. Guys, excuse me one moment. I'm going to get me another cup of coffee. I'm enjoying this so much that we're going to stick around for a few more minutes. Let me grab another cup of coffee. I'll be right back, guys. Here. Look at my Rancor tooth. I put coffee in my belly because it makes me feel so good. I put coffee in my belly because I fucking should. I like putting it in my throat hole. I love it when it burns. If I had to be honest, coffee is what I earn. I don't know how sensitive the mic was, but I sang a little song about coffee. Oh, I love that sting when it comes right out of the. This fucking channel. This channel's a shit show. Why the fuck is any of you here? Is that even English? Why is any of you here? What are you doing here? All right, let me bring up Stella. I mean, I do have the ability to get Stella to work, obviously. But in all fairness, I've had a lot of experience with Stella over the years. It wasn't an overnight thing. And even some games that I get that are like ROMs and stuff, I actually just have the ROMs on the computer, and it will automatically open up in Stella. I forget how to put the games in Stella, so like I have like 3 or 4 different places I go to for the games. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Galaxian. And this is another one that has multiple versions of it. Patricia Goodson, Glenn Parker, and Tom Calderwood? Is that how that's pronounced? I like that they put the, I'm going to assume, this looks weird. That's all right, we'll go with it. I like how they put the, I'm assuming developer names. Something about this look off to you? Yeah, Chris, you use an emulation. Something about the fonts, the 1983 Atari at the top. I don't know. I like old Office PCs better for emulation. Right on. Got Stella, no real point. I think UI, UX... I can just stop you right there. What? On some of the Pi. Have you ever done a Retro Pi? I got a Pi Zero for free at Micro Center once. And I loaded Retro Pi onto it. And as a giveaway years ago, I wanted to do an April Fool's joke where I 3D printed an Atari VCS when it was still, people didn't think it was going to come out, including me. And it hadn't come out yet. So I was in the process of putting one together from 3D prints. And I was gonna have it in the background, like not like in your face, but one of those things where people were like, wait a minute, do you have a fucking VCS? And then I was going to do an April Fool's joke and unboxing. You remember when the Switch was first announced? And that one dude did a troll? And he's freaking out. He's like falling off his chair and shit. He's like, I got one of these motherfuckers. They're gonna hate me. I'm gonna get in trouble, but I don't give a fuck. And it looked pretty legit. Ah, fuck. I was gonna do something like that. But I didn't get it. Oh, fuck you, that hit. But I didn't get to it in time, and then it came out. But I designed it around the RetroPie Zero, which I had, and I even made like a little case for it. I found a case for the RetroPie Zero. I think it was called the Zero. And I started to set it up, but I didn't put anything on it for two reasons. One, because I'm too fucking stupid. And two, if people were to have a problem with it, I would rather just somebody else do it. You know what I mean? Whatever people were comfortable with putting on it. Because I don't know who's going to win it. I suppose if somebody was in to win it, they wouldn't have cared. But I wanted somebody to put what they felt comfortable putting on there. Though I don't understand the argument, for the most part, I can still respect that it's an opinion, you know? So I left the emulator ready to rock and roll. At least I think I did. RetroPie. Do or die. Cobra Kai. Come in your eye. That burns. From what I'm told. Fuck, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I was too focused on the red and whites. I got bloated up. I got dyed. Oh, that was just stupidity. I apologize. You guys can point and laugh for that one. Okay, children, let's all point and laugh. Oh, come on. I fucking aimed that one almost goodest. But honestly, I mean, if someone would be willing to help me with all that shit. Man, we had so much fun. We used to play fucking Lynx games. We used to play fucking Turbo games. We even played a few Vectrex games here and there. A couple of Intellivision games. Those were a little tougher because, you know, the controller and everything. But, I mean, there are ways around that now. There wasn't so much then. And if there were, I didn't know shit about it. I should have died there. I should have fucking died there. I think Jesus took the wheel for a second. Not meaning anything disrespectful. I meant that genuinely. Not that I think he plays Gallagher or Galaxian. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I don't know. They have all the games up there. And they're all emulated. I have a video that I might be making here, maybe today or tomorrow. It won't go up right away. But have you guys heard of this little thing? It's pretty obscure. I don't know if anyone would really have heard of it. It's called Skibbity Toilet. Well, I got really into the figures. And I have this giant Skibbity Toilet. I say giant. It's about maybe a foot tall. I'm dead. I'm dead. What would Jesus play? That's clever. I like that, man. I like that. I like that a lot. And you know what? Honestly, from what I know of the cat, I don't think he would use his powers evil playing games. I think he would play straight. Probably still be really good at all these games, but I don't think he would like use the force and win. Again, not meaning anything disrespectful. You guys know my point of view on that. Dude's my main man. As a matter of fact, today's the day he gets betrayed. Last Supper, washing feet. Today's the day he gets busted, and tomorrow he's going to be up on the cross. He prayed so hard that he sweat blood, and fucking heavy burden, dude. A heavy burden. But we're not here for that. We're not here for that. My apologies to anyone who's, whatever. Fuck! I get so focused on those three dudes that I negate the fact that anything else is happening. FOMO. It's a fucking case of Galaxian FOMO. Fear of missing out on blowing them up. Oh no, I see a lot of comments. Hopefully everyone's just being respectful. I respect how you feel and everything, but I'm asking nicely, just be respectful with that. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. I'll check that out here in a second. Ah, it's purple prick. Hey, anyone watch Chuck's stream last night? I mean, you don't have to watch the stream to see what I'm talking about. But the Intellivision Mantis paid a visit to the Easter Bunny. I can't wait for Christmas now. Fuck you. All right, well, I get a chance to go to the chat here. I remember the printout. Fuck the Atari box console thing. Yeah, Atari box. Yeah, I remember that, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. Emulate up to a PS3. Oh, no shit. Creep. Bring Mick energy to the Galaxian scene. Fuck you, that hit. What? Bring the Mick Enro? What is Enro energy? I apologize, Steve. I'm too stupid to know what you are talking about, my man. I would like to respond intelligently. Unfortunately, I am unable to. I got 200 PS2 games. Right on. Again, I have zero issue with collecting. None. But when a topic of passion becomes more about buying things than it does the actual passion itself, the whole, glory versus, I don't know. Controls with meme can be tricky without a... Okay. And I know you can... It's basically keyboard controls, right? That you reroute to buttons and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. Please be April fooling us, Skibbity Toilet. No offense if you aren't. No. Hold on. Not joking at all. Not joking at all. Like I'm not really into the cartoon or anything like that. But I have this. And in the past, when you do this, his head would pop up. I cut his head off. But the video I'm going to make is, this was so complicated to get the head off that I figured for anyone who's into kit bashing and stuff like that, it was actually suggested on my TikTok that I do a video. Because I went through so many trials just to figure out, if you just cut his head off and undo a screw, you could pop the mechanism out. And I have, it's in water right now because I did something stupid. All right, I did something stupid. I'm trying to clean it up. Oh, your sister's ass. But I like the toilet toys, not like the actual figures and stuff. But anything that's a toilet. But I'm gonna make an evil Skibbity toilet. It's gonna be a skull. It's gonna be, and I'm gonna have it all mechanized and stuff like that. Guys, you know me. I kit bash all the time. As far as like the program, the stupid shorts and all that, they were fun for about 5 minutes at best. At best. But as you guys know, I am into toilets. Hopefully you know that. For toys, I made a Pikachu toilet game toy that I call affectionately Pika-Poo. In fact, I should have pictures of it here. That's sold for like $60. Somebody was just like, I want that. I'm like, it's not really for sale. And you're like, no, you don't understand. I fucking want that. I'm like, you don't understand. It's not for sale. And the guy's like, let me give you $40. And I said, no. And then he went to 50. And he said, no. And he said 60. I'm like, fine. Jesus, just send me 60 plus 10 shipping. Friends and family. And I regret it. But it's because he fucking bugged me. Where are the pictures of my Pika-Poo? Actually, I think they're in screenshots because they're not from this phone. I had to... Yeah, here we go. Let me minimize. Oh, fuck you. I put Pikachu in a fucking toilet. It made the toilet gross. He's even, if you look across his head, he's got like dirty fucking toilet paper across it. That toilet was probably about like this big, maybe about 5 inches. And it had candy in it at one time. It had candy. Now, this is years ago. And I found it on the floor of Michael's. Empty. Somebody had eaten the fucking candy. And so I brought it up to the manager and said, this is, somebody ate the candy. I promise you, I know I'm fat, but I didn't eat it. But I would really like to just buy this. Can I give you $1? And she's like, 50 cents. So they literally brought me to the register and did some fucking pocus hocus and shit. And it was sold it to me for 50 cents plus fucking taxes. And I brought it home and I had a Pikachu that was from McDonald's, a prize, that fit in it perfectly. So, you know, whatever. So, when I saw that there was a thing that had toilet toys, I fucking jumped all over it. This toilet isn't, this is actually a Dollar Tree toilet. I got this at the fucking Dollar Tree. Look at that, I even have a Skibbity toilet fucking sticker on it. With their like dollhouse stuff. So I bought me a couple of these. I put a piece of styrene on the back because it's wide open in the back to save money or whatever. And if you guys remember, I had those figures, those little droids with skulls. And I still have a whole bunch left over. So what I do is I make little custom figures out of them. This is from a Dollar Tree flashlight. Same with this part. And these are from Final Faction, which, again, Dollar Tree. Final Faction. And I made this to make my own Skibbity toilet kind of guy. And I mean, I know it's not really Skibbity toilet. But I made this. But then when I was in Target and I saw that big toilet, I almost got the remote control one, but they still want way too much money for it. But I saw that and it was on sale for like $12. And when you press the button, the actual Skibbity, look at this maniacal fucking cocksucker. Look at that. Look how fucking terrifying that is. So I said, I have skulls. I almost put... So there's a little trend over there with my friends on TikTok, this thing called Grim on a Rim, where he transforms them all into a Skeletor head inside the toilet. And then he does them custom. The big ones, the little ones, and all of them. So I got into it. Because I like Skeletor. I like toilet toys. I don't know why. There's just something about it, you know. Ricky Rackman at the end of the Headbangers Ball would say, keep one fist on the gold and one foot in the gutter. And I've always lived that way. I don't have a love for money. I've never been money motivated. But there's just something about the aesthetic of a nasty fucking toilet that just brings some kind of delight out in me. Not that my toilet's nasty. In fact, I lose my shit when it gets fucking a little dirty in there because Full Metal Jacket, I want the Queen Mother or Mother Mary to be proud to take a dump in there. But no disrespect intended. But it's like I don't really give a fuck about this guy, and I don't really care about the story that much. It was pretty repetitious. The toilets came in, fucked things up. Something would come to counter it. And then the toilets would counter that, and it didn't really have a story. And I just got sick of hearing that. But having a toilet that big as a toy that flushes, it actually makes a flush sound, and that I can turn into my own figure. If you haven't been around long, I make my own custom toys. When I was a kid, I didn't have a lot of money. So if I wanted certain toys, I had to make it. And I have a ton of action figures over there. I have one that was made out of... Have you guys ever seen the Grave Boy? If I get more than 2 no's, I'll go get it and show it to you. But it's a Game Boy turned into a fucking monster. I have one of those little Five Below arcade machines that I tried to review a few times, and I could never get one that works. I do have one that works, and ironically, since we talked about the No Swear Gamer, he's the one who sent it to me. He's the one who sent it to me that I probably should review. But here in this bag, I have... God, I love keeping these from lighters. I've put these on, like I just sold a servo skull I made, like a 1-to-1 servo skull from Warhammer, and I had 2 of them right here for guns. These make wonderful fucking kit bashing pieces. Same with the actual body of it. You know, this could be like a energy cell or something like that. I got a ton of pieces from our dead printer that broke. I mean, I got a whole box of them. So I'm that guy who, like, when something dies in the house, I take it apart and look for things that could be used later on. In the kit bashing world, it's called Greebles or Greeblies. I have 2 of these and a couple of these from, I was going to make an AT-AT Walker. I'm going to say it that way, AT-AT. Fuck you if you don't like it. An AT-AT Walker helmet. But I ended up selling the helmet off and I kept the Greeblies. Like, this is going to go in the skull's eyes. It's very mechanical. And this is like a Greebly part that was on the helmet in Star Wars. Apparently what it was a CO2 canister thing for a machine that carbonized water. Made your water bubbly. Even back in the 70s they were doing it. But I take things apart like that so I can use them for projects. And, okay, we got 1 no. Didn't the toilet get used effectively in Boondock Saints too? Yes. Yes, it did. It did. Actually, my favorite toilet scene of all time, besides Friday the 13th Part 5, ooh, baby, yay, baby, is from Terminator 3, where the T-800 takes the Terminatrix and fucking just puts her in head first. He just picks her up and goes, boom! Just slams her into the fucking toilet. Oh shit, I didn't put all the stuff back in the baggie. So, when I say I'm into Skibbity Toilet, I don't mean like I'm a fucking little kid watching the little minis, the reels all day long. I'm just more into the toys. Some of them, not all of them. Again, another thing where people, as soon as Skibbity puts his name on something, people go nuts. There was a Skibbity Toilet plushie that I'm not really into. Stuff like that, but I mean, guys, you've seen this guy quite a bit. This is a 1991 T800 counter toy mixed with a Mechanic from the Masters of the Universe collection. So, I this is what I like to do. I just love doing this. It keeps me alive. It fucking does. You call it what you will. But if I didn't have that in my life, well, maybe I would have had something else. But a Skibbity Toilet, as far as like toys and big toilet things, and you know what I love the most about it is it's a fucking fad. I actually have a Skibbity Toilet sticker right here on my laptop. It's the original Skibbity guys, but they have jetpacks on the side of the toilet bowl, and they're flying away. It actually came inside that. That toilet came with 2 figures, a little mini Skibbity Toilet, and a TV head, which I've cut open. I was actually I cut the screen out, and I was gonna make the inside look like somebody's head, because it's a body and a head, and a toilet on it. And I was gonna make it look like the head from Scanners exploded inside of it, but the way they designed it, it's not feasible. I can't do it. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, they're gonna end up at the fucking Goodwill and Savers here really quick, because it's a fucking fad. And I'm going to be able to buy Skibbity Toilets all day long. But my buddy was really into making this thing called the Grim on the Rim. And he named it after another guy who calls himself Skeletor Grimlock or something like that, or Grimlock Skeletor. So he made that, and there's this running joke that every time one of us makes a new, I don't make the Grim on the Rim, I just make my own like that. He comes on with his character art. Are you making this? Are you? Why would you do that? That's so evil, and we're all gonna pay for it. I'm kidding around. I get this really cool circle of TikTok cats. I'm not gonna really tell you what my account name is because I want to keep the bullshit out of there. It took me a while to filter through all the stupid trends and the dances and all that, and I have this like small pocket of toy customizers and just guys who are just fucking weirdos. Just fucking weirdos. And I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I regret selling my fat PS2. Mine died. I had a really cool base to stand it up, and it had these blue lights around it that would fucking come on and shit. Let's see. Did Skibbity begin in Gary mod? I don't know what that means. I have no idea what Gary mod is. I really don't know. I don't know. I just know I saw it on his channel and was like, what is that? And he said Skibbity Toilet. So I looked it up. I watched a couple of videos that showed, here's the story of Skibbity Toilet. I watched a couple of, a season or something like that. And then started seeing the toys in Target. And I'm just like, I give it the old Billy Mitchell, hold on. Billy Mitchell thumb up. Sponsor. Well, Billy isn't. Smash JT is. Oh my God, I can share with my niece and nephew. Right on, just make sure it's silent. I say fuck a lot. I like Retro Bat. Oh, right on, dude. Right on. I dig. The toilet stuff is hilarious. And that's what it is. It's fun. It's just fucking fun, right? Wild Creep, you are next level. I appreciate you. Steve, no, thank you, dude. That hit me right here. I like that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that's what I meant to say. The toilet transporting the best. Didn't the toilet guy get effective in the Boondocks? All right, so I think I'm almost caught up here. I only got one no. I'll still show it to you guys anyway. Search the GIF, Mr. Toilet Man from Look Who's Talking To. I might know that already. Let's get another no, guys. Come on. They've all seen it. Everyone but you. Everyone point and laugh at Inferno. You're not in the no, and you're soon going to be. How about Jackass potty scene? Oh, so we're going to talk about potty scenes in movies, huh? Slingshot Honeypot. That was funny as hell. I just like saying that. Slingshot Honeypot. Yeah, kit bashing stuff was cooler than... Yeah. I remember doing it to some of my Star Wars vehicles. And my dad was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making it cooler. He goes, it wasn't cool enough? I'm like, no, it was. It fucking was. But it ain't now. And it will be. Electric Bill. I'll have to look up whatever you're talking about there. Too bad about the PS2. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. All right, let me go get it. It's literally like 5 feet away from me. You're just going to have to watch me get up one more time. Well, probably a few more times, right? I'll bring over a few things. To show you. You know what? Since we're talking about it, why not do it? And you know what? Honestly, if anyone's interested in any of this, let me know. As sad as it is to let it go, I like money to pay bills. I really do enjoy when I can pay the bills. And not that I'm broke right now, but I don't have as much money as I could probably need. All right, we'll start with the biggest guy. And none of these really have names except for the Grave Boy. And you guys named him. This guy. This was... I bought it at a Goodwill thinking it was a Street Shark, but it was a Marvel character that had a shark head. And I said, well, fuck him then. I'm cutting his head off and turning him into a fucking custom figure. This is a spray bottle from Febreze, I believe. The head is a Febreze bottle head. Oh yeah, 2 of those torch lighters. Fuck you, where did my screen go? 2 of those torch lighters as weapons, glued to the back, and then blended to make it look like one piece. This is, a long time ago, one of you guys who are local, I can't remember exactly who, I hope they still watch, gave me a big bag of action figures and stuff to work off of for stuff like this. And I've been working with this one giant mech from a game, a modern game that you guys probably know all about. And I've been working with pieces off of that. And that's what this is. This was a joint for one of his arms or something. Maybe his leg. But I just thought it looked like a cool like vent kind of thing. So I grafted that onto him. Megantron, if you're in here, this is from a Transformer. Kind of a fucking jet thing. Actually, I think I have a few pieces of it still in that bag for my new Grim on the Rim. These are Final Faction pieces. I painted it. This is a Final Faction piece. This is from one of the Biomech. So I wanted to make it both bio and mechanical. And the rest of it's just a paint job. You know, that's him. I like him. This one here, covered in dust. I don't know what it is. It's, I guess, some kind of an ancient alien artifact. We got Final Faction pieces. This is actually the chest of a Final Faction. The Dollar Tree Final Faction was such a great resource, man. That I painted more, but the colors don't come through. But it's something. It's got little nipples on it. I keep meaning to. I have these bass guitar strings that I need to pop into here, and there's little holes here to connect them. So it looks like it actually has some kind of functionality. But it's also got these little jet things from that Transformer. This is all hot glue. And this is flocking, green flocking. That's a spider web. Because it just sits on a shelf. It just sits on a shelf. Can you guys recognize what the main body is? What the main body is? I actually have one in here that hasn't been worked on yet. Oh, I don't think I have the lid to it. But we had grapes in them. Just one of these flimsy little plastic things that had fruit in it. I don't know why my lady likes to buy the grapes like this. It costs so much money. This was fucking $7.68 when you can buy a whole bundle of grapes. And all you gotta do is rinse them off. Fucking lazy people. I fucking hate when people are lazy. It costs me money. Costs me money. But that's all that is. And I covered it in plaster bandage and then worked from there. And now it's fucking rigid. This is something that's still in the works. This is a paper mache spider I got from an art supply place I used to work at. The spider legs came from a Dollar Tree spider skeleton. Final Faction. No, this mechanical piece here, which you can't see, and here actually came off of that giant mech toy I told you about. Same with back here. This is going to get flocked in brown. It's not even close to done. And this is a zombie John Cena. Not John Cena. What do you call him? He always did the John 3:16 thing in the beards. Stone Cold. That's a zombie Stone Cold fucking figure I bought to make a mold of the head so I could do my own custom Skeletor figure. And this weapon came in a box of stuff that my buddy Odo Necro sent. Is my mic out? Can you guys not hear me? Oh, okay. But yeah, that's still in the works. Then you got this guy from the arcade machine. There's a lot of Final Faction. This is actually a skull. There's a game I have where you actually play it in the dark and you're supposed to blow out like these digital candles. They're LEDs. And the skull head turns around with the light. And if it senses you with like a thing, I forget what happens. You end up losing or something. But there's these like little cool skulls all around it. So I took like little molds of them with this 2-part putty stuff. And I put him in there with some wires and stuff like that. This right here was a figure I got at the Dollar Tree. I actually stressed this for a long time. I had this kind of built with the head in it, but with no arms and no legs. I couldn't find the right arms and the right legs. And I actually, you know what? Ironically, I have the body to the figure that the arms and legs came off of, because I'm actually going to use the top here on the skull of the Skibbity. This is going to be like a helmet piece. And I might have weapons coming out of here too. And it's got like a little vent thing. So that's going to be perfect for the top of the skull on my giant Skibbity. But this is just a Five Below little arcade machine that never worked. Final Faction piece here. This is a scuba tank from just a random shark diver toy set. A wheel from a Final Faction thing. Weapon from Final Faction. So that's that guy. And the cool thing is he is articulated. You know, he's got articulation. And for the one that... Oh, nope. Next to last. It's a little droid I made. A long time ago. Using parts from Star Wars toys from the prequels. Droidekas! This piece and this piece here. I believe the arm is Final Faction. I don't know what this piece was from. This is from a blow mold mech from the Dollar Tree. I don't know what this thing was from. This is just a piece of fucking styrene that I bent to make it look functional. Pieces of styrene on it that look like, you know, patchwork on the metal. These are two little foam things. This right here is pretty interesting. This is the inside of a Hot Wheels or a Matchbox boat. Like a little, you know... But the opposite side of this were the seats. This is actually the bottom, what you don't see. Somebody had run one over with a car. I picked up the piece that goes on the inside. I cut it in half, and it looked perfect for that function. And I don't remember what this was from. But there's that guy. And you know what? This just so happened to have those two fucking bolts. So I just thought it looked like a mechanized Mac in me. Actually... Do you guys remember Meatballs 2? Meathead? Kind of looks more like Meathead. If he were a robot, you know? And then the last one, the one that you actually wanted to see. The Grave Boy. He's actually holding a piece of himself in this hand. That's the headphone amplifier thingy-mabobby. And the hands and the feet are part of the same... That blow mold mech from the Dollar Tree that this piece came from. I have tons of those cut up and ready to go too. And this is a real Game Boy. It didn't work. As a matter of fact, I did a fun video a long time ago with this. It said how to clean a Game Boy. And I like put it underwater and scrubbed it. And then we took it outside and kicked it around. And people were like, what the fuck are you doing? This thing was beyond repair. Beyond repair. And the case wasn't all that nice looking, so you couldn't have even fucking... You know, you couldn't have even done that. But if I were to ever sell this one, it would be at least $100. And I don't think it's worth $100. But I don't want it to go anywhere. And if somebody really wanted it that bad, and you want to give me $100 plus shipping, I'd be more than willing to do it. But I have no intention of selling it. Like, do you guys remember the Die Fighter? I took one of those TIE fighters that were about this big that we've been collecting since we were kids, and a skull. And I made it, you know, that sold for like $80. I didn't want to sell that, but somebody was like, I fucking want that. Fuck, now I gotta put all this shit away. You see the things I do for you guys? I create problems for myself to entertain and maybe show off a little bit. Yeah, there's a little braggery involved here. I'll admit it. But going back to the Skibbity toilet stuff, that's where all that comes from. I have an old Hulk figure that I cut the head off, and not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. My daughter's got one of those tubes with the Hershey's Kisses, and the top were Rudolph heads. And they got thrown out. I'm like, oh, no, I'm making a two-headed Rudolph monster. And I have them grafted onto a Hulk body that's about this big. And what I really need to do is get a a teddy bear to make like kind of like almost like a poncho, but with animal fur. And I was gonna have the noses light up, but I used a lot of filler in it to. I can't get into the head anymore. But I got that going. That's up in the attic though. Let's see. Do I have anything else down here? No, I think I took everything away except for my Mando kit. These are the projects I want to focus on. My business, which I am still working on that. I've just been pretty quiet about it for now. My Mando kit, which I have my thigh pieces, which I'm repainting. And then I have to do my gauntlets. I do have my gauntlets. I need thigh pieces if anyone wants to donate. A couple of shin pieces. If you know what I'm talking about, it has to be post-imperial in order for me to get into the mercs. But for right now, I want to use it to do the walk down to Alzheimer's. I'm going to do the walk in my Mando kit, God willing. But I need to finish it. Actually, the only two pieces I truly need, 3 pieces, is I need shin pieces. I would like to have a vest to go over my jumpsuit, which I do have already. And I want to make, you know how the Mandalorian has like that half cape thing? And I have a ton of old Walk to End Alzheimer's t-shirts that I was going to use to make that almost like a quilt, but make it look like a cape too. So people know I'm there for the walk and I'm not there to fucking be like a terrorist or anything like that. Because let's face it, these days someone walking into a gathering that big in some kind of like an armor or anything, I'm not going to bring any of my faux weapons. That's not going to happen. We have these pinwheel flowers that we get every year. And purple means you've lost someone with Alzheimer's, and I've lost 2 people now. Both an uncle and my father, which is fucked up. My aunt lost both her big brother and her husband, you know, to the same fucking disease. And I am making like a little leather thing to put that in. It might even go over the opposite shoulder of my cape. So if any of you guys know of, I mean, I can just Google search it, I know. But if any of you have like a pattern or something, I could use a t-shirt, cape. I don't want it to be like a Superman cape. I want it to be a cool one that drags. I mean, that I can put on the back, but it's still narrow, you know, so it looks more like a side cape. But I'm not gonna walk it with my weapons and all that shit. That would be inappropriate. That would be inappropriate for the time anyway. And maybe I can call out the mercs and be like, hey, you want to join me? I know I'm not an official member yet. I think the local club is called the Faraxian Clan. Can't remember. They got like a fish. I think it's a swordfish. I don't know. I've been too fucking afraid to really interact with them because they're like people who do this shit all the time, and it's like I'm just a weird artist that comes up with random shit to make. But point is, I have that. I have my He-Man power sword ready for restoring before the movie comes out, and all that stuff, So that's what I do. That's what I do. Let's see. Let me go back. Did your mic cut out? No. All right. As long as you guys can still hear me. I hear you. That's badass creep. Thanks, Howard. I'm sure you've seen some of my shit over the years, Howard. We're friends on Facebook. All kinds of tech diffs in the world. Be right back. Okay, man. All right, man. Bears Fan Goomba steps into the room. Ready, fight. Too cool. Thank you, Inferno. I really appreciate it. Probably a Steve thing. Oh, no. Power out for the past couple of hours. No, really? Restoring to Wi-Fi on UPS backward to the phone at the moment. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Here in the sunny, well, not so sunny, Metro Boston area, I have power. I have the power! Very freaking cool, Inferno says. Thank you. Great boy. Not only cool, but clever. I can't take 100% credit for it. I saw somebody else had done it and decided to make my own. Mine doesn't look anything like the one that they made, with the exception of it's a Game Boy and it has arms and legs. In fact, they used more of a blocky Frankenstein head. That's what it was. It's literally a piece of paper with a printout on it that I cut, and I put it in between the screen and the protective plastic glass in the front. But theirs was more blocky. And we actually did a thing on my channel saying which one would you use. And the one that I went with is the overwhelming one, but it's a Frankenstein's monster in digital form head that like clip art, just something I just Googled long before AI. Love show and tell. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Mando without a rifle ain't right, man. I know. I have weapons. Oh my God, do I have weapons? Oh my God. Creeps locally sourced. The guy remains a mystery. Oh, Bhaskar guy. Yeah, right on, man. I don't have any Bhaskar, but I do have a Camtono, if you guys know what that is. I love all your creations, man. They're really cool. Thank you. Thank you, Baz fan. I really appreciate you and that comment. Well, still takes creativity. I get it. Some of the stuff is stupid. Some of it's fun. Some of it I'm proud of. Some of it I'm not so proud of. Not because of the execution, but what it was. A.K.A. Peekapoo. If you guys are curious and you've not been around for the past, more than maybe a year, if you go into my playlist, look for one called Milieu Macabre. That has a ton of projects I've made over the years. We did a Deckard pistol from Blade Runner. I took a Ruby's DL-44 Han Solo blaster and cut it all up and made it look more realistic. That sold for $100. We've done things like $5 projects. Like I have one over here. I don't think I did. Maybe I did do a video on it. Actually, I know I did a video on this one. And they just happen to be the same topic. I did what I call a dollar store challenge. As you can see, it's a face hugger and an egg on just a little thing. This is an Easter egg covered in hot glue to make the desired texture. And I used Viva paper towel and just glue and basically literally paper mache over it. I put some dry clay inside and I used a hot glue gun to make the little things. And you know at the Dollar Tree every year you can get that garland of 4 skeletons, those really stupid looking skeletons? That's all this guy is. That's the spine. This is the rib cage, and these are the fucking hip bones. That's all that is. And then I translated that same dude, and I don't know if you can see it. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, you won't be able to see it now. I'm sorry. But I put one in one of these little cryo things. This is a Dollar Tree lantern. One of those Dollar Tree mech arms, and another one of the skeleton made face huggers. In fact, I had to refer to this one quite a bit to make this one. Unfortunately, when I glued this in, it sealed the top, and that's how you get to the battery. So when that's dead, it's dead. So I never put it up for sale. I was going to try to get like $20 for this. But yeah, this is just Dollar Tree and hot glue. Dollar Tree and hot glue. And Easter eggs, which we've always had because we have children here. We have children. What time is it? I think it's time for we've been on for almost 2.5 hours? Wow. No mistakes, only happy accidents. Absolutely. Do you still have the Deckard's blaster? I do. Did you really want to see it? I have to go into another room to get it, but it's in the studio. It's literally right through that door right there. And actually, I have the squirt gun that came out, which is a 1-to-1 replica, and I can show you. That. Well, you go to the Milieu Macabre. You can watch me build the fucking thing. I used a Duplo. I used random pieces of plastic. That was a total kit bash. And it all started with this stupid Chinese made, like you would get at the dudes with the shopping carts at parades and shit. And they would have the toys hanging off in the big balloons. I got the pistol from that because it was Blade Runner inspired, and we hacked it all up. And yeah, let me go get that, and then I'll sign out. Then we'll sign out. But I have the squirt gun to give you a perspective of how fucked up I had made it. give you a bonus. I'll give you a fucking bonus. That's related. Alright, this is it. And then I'm going to go make myself some lunch. So here is an accurate. It's a squirt gun, I know. But all the details here, the size, this is 100% with the exception of I broke this trigger actually using it as a squirt gun. Of Deckard's actual, I forget what they called it, but it was a, you know, his blaster. You know, it's a beefy fucking thing. This is the one I came up with. It's not screen accurate by any stretch of any imagination. Because when I make these things, I don't look for accuracy. I just try to make it mine. And I wasn't sure about the actual size, so I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. But there is a significant size difference, you know. This is much bigger. But I made most of these pieces that are on it. These are some Kit Bash things. I forget where I got this. Oh, actually, you know what? This was a missile from a Star Wars toy. This lever, that's actually the part that goes over the ear of a pair of sunglasses I got at the Dollar Tree. I was in line. I'm like, that would be perfect for that one part I can't figure out. And that's how it usually comes up. And here's the front. This was actually the inside of a Preparation H cap. and you see how it's kind of like not centered? Can you tell? I didn't line it up the best. But this is, and it's heavy. It's filled. But this all started with a toy that made a lot of fucking noises. But I have a friend of mine who's a big fan of this. And actually, he built his alongside me using the same toy. And we are also both into Star Wars. And what this fucking kid did, and this is genius, he crossed over Deckard's blaster with Luke Skywalker's fucking lightsaber. I mean, this is the magazine part that you find. Hold on. Right here, this part of the weapon. This is the actual barrel, the top barrel. This is the piece that would be on the side that had the green light that blinked. It does still have the defining pointy thing on the inside. And the bottom half of this is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So he took a Deckard blaster and in 3D modeling, turned it into a lightsaber and sent it to me. I thought that was really cool. And I decided to leave it unpainted and unrealistic for that specific, you know, just because I thought this was just cool as is. And this is designed to put a little button battery in there so you can light up where those holes are. There's supposed to be red blinky lights in those. And that's the switch, which is screen accurate, having a switch there. Which I had never done. The bottom is accurate to the actual weapon that it came on. Because when they made this, it was a combination of both a real handgun, I think it was a Bulldog, and a rifle, a German rifle, I think. The guy just cobbled together, you know, whatever the fuck this thing is. It barely fits in the hand. This doesn't make a very good weapon, but... Alright, that's it. Creeps and Crafts. Which was a suggestion from a long time ago that I still use once in a while. But the reason all this came out is because what I was saying is that I might make a tutorial video on how to take that fucking big toilet thing apart. Because had I known just to cut the guy's head off and take one screw out, because there is one more sleeve that goes on that stick that's inside the toilet right now. That's actually what the skibbity head was attached to. If I had known just to cut the head off and unscrew that, and Bob was my uncle, then I would have done that. But I didn't know that. I took the whole fucking thing apart. I lost the spring, but luckily I found it. Knowing there were going to be springs in there, but that shit always scares you. It always surprises you. But I found it. Stare in a 44 Special Bulldog. Right on. Yep. Steyr. It's pronounced Steyr, right? Even though it's an E. I knew it was a Bulldog. I knew it was that's one of those fucking handguns that fuck your wrist up. God damn. If you're not holding it properly, you know, not like this, but like this. Crack! Oh, I can only imagine. I remember I was at the range once, and this guy, at this particular range, I don't know if it's common, But you could rent out one of the weapons that they had there for their range, and you have to buy their ammo and all that shit for it, right? And this guy thought he was going to be a cool kid and had a Desert Eagle, which, by the way, is just more of a dig-me weapon. It's not fucking practical at all. Yes, it can do what it's meant to do, but the thing that comes out of it is so fucking slow compared to everything else. They have been known to bounce off of foreheads. Foreheads are fucking pretty tough. But long story short, they had put a new spring in it and all kinds of stuff. So the guy warned him, he goes, this thing punches pretty hard. So have a good hold on it when you have it down range. And this motherfucker's all like this. And any of you who are into firearms and know what I'm talking about, know what's about to come. This kid discharged that weapon and the shit just said, pow! And it didn't take but half a second for his face to turn into a fucking red waterfall. He dropped the weapon. Everyone's all like, oh, Jesus! It didn't discharge again. But he ended up going to the hospital, and I ended up taking the rest of his rounds and going at it, you know? That was a silly gun. It was silly. It's fun to be like, hey, look what I have, this fucking huge cannon, but I'll take my Kimber Custom Pro carry over that, which I don't own or carry anymore anyway. For two reasons. One, I just don't find it necessary around here. And two, all the mental health issues that have been spurring up over the past handful of years. I just don't think it would be smart to have that around. That's it. That's it, guys. I think I'm done. I think I'm fucking getting tired now. And I want something to eat. I'm going to go eat the rest of that pizza. And I'm still going to put some of this hot sauce on it. This is pretty good stuff. And if you haven't seen the video that I uploaded, it went live at midnight. Check it out. It was a genuine review. It was genuine in-the-moment review, and that's why it was filmed so poorly. But like I always say, if you support my sponsors, you'll be supporting me. So, and if you don't want to support my sponsors specifically, there's always the QR code here, which should take you directly to my page with the Alzheimer's Association. Never super chat, never send it to me in PayPal. Never do any of that. I don't want the money to go through me even a little bit, especially now since there was a big issue a few years ago with a significantly larger YouTuber who fucked around with the Alzheimer's Association, did some shady shit. Whether it was on purpose or not, I'm not going to get into it, and I don't care. All I know is because of that, I had to make a video saying, please still trust. Not me, but everybody. But, yeah, it's not bad stuff. And even if you go over there and don't buy smashes, because I understand that $30 for a bottle of hot sauce is a little much. You have to really be a Smash and a Billy Mitchell fan to want to buy that, because they did sign both sides of the bottle, and I have 2 signed bottles. So we'll figure out what to do with them over the air. But my sponsors, we have Potion Sword Run with the Playdate. We have Smash JT. Thank you, Smash, with the regardless of anything, guys. That's separate from everything. With the hot sauce, we have Bears Fan Goomba, the Factsmith, with 2 hardcovers of his fucking fact-fill books, not one, but 2 separate books. One, I like the one that's really meant for the short, the first book has it tells you about something. The second one's more like, hey, did you know, for about a paragraph or 2, it's great for the toilet. It even has a picture of a dude reading on the front with the toilet. And as we have discovered today, I'm a fan of toilets. I'm a fan of the pooper. And some chicks' dumpers too. I like those 2 hunks of flesh that shit tumble out of. But we got them. We got Bacon Ice Cream Productions. We have video game dust sleeves all over the place. Just look them up. He has a specific dust sleeve for your cartridges, all of your cartridges. And if he doesn't have a pattern or he hasn't made a template for a specific cartridge that you collect that might be obscure, all you got to do is send him a couple of pictures with some measurements. I did that for the M Network carts, and it came out perfect on the first shot. He's really good at what he does. He's very fair with his pricing, and he's not going to keep a dime of what you give him to get you those dust sleeves. He's going to put it all into here. He's not going to charge for the materials. He's not going to charge for the labor. And it's a great partnership that we've had over the years. And even if you don't buy my Alzheimer's one specifically, though it doesn't benefit my walk, if you were to at least say, the Creep's walk brought me over here, it lets him know that it's helping him as well, which again will be helping me in the future. It'll continue to let him know that he will anyway. But you know what I'm saying. You know, support them in any way you can just because you're supporting me, even if it doesn't directly impact my walk. I would prefer that you did the impact of my walk first, but these are all good people in their own right, one way or another. I know a lot of people don't like Smash. I know, and that's why I'm saying that. I'm trying to avoid doing that kind of a thing. How about this? How about this? We'll do this. What about this? I like this hot sauce. It's really yummy. I don't know what it's going to be like coming out, but it tastes real fucking good. I did the best I could. And guys, wherever in the world you are, I genuinely hope you're doing well. I will be doing a spotlight on all my sponsors here individually. There'll be shorts, of course. Well, not like reels, but there'll be short videos because there's only so much you can say. And you'll get to see what they sponsored the walk with, and or get to know who they are. Like in my case, Bacon Ice Cream Productions. He does his own walk and donates a ton of money. He's donated VCSs in the past. And he is always an enormous contributor. He buys my shirt every year. That shirt is the design is almost finalized. In fact, I will show it to you guys here. Not AI generated, if you're all fucking worried about that. I did it myself in background eraser. But there's just something about my dad being that big next to my sponsors. But these are all my sponsors, all in a fucking really cool 80s style bundle. I took like a little pen and like did like little colorful squigglies behind it and all that to make it look like an 80s kind of vibe. Some years we make it look like an actual cartridge. A good buddy of mine designed a Magic cartridge. Those old shirts might still be up there, but the only ones that really truly is this year's. That'll be up here before the end of the week. If not, if I finalize this specific design, I might just upload it today. But I'm going to try a few more, see which one I like the best. And by purchasing that, I get like $2 or $3 a piece for them. Whenever I get that money, it goes directly to the Alzheimer's under. And you'll see on the ticker, it'll say, fucking, you know, it'll say T-shirt sales or just T-shirts or something like that. And so you know, like last year, I think I got $12 in sales. So, but guys, I genuinely appreciate you all hanging out. I love the positivity. Like I said last night, it was kind of like it got really ugly with that whole fucking. I thought it was a joke or whatever. And of course, I was mad about the phone thing. Fucking T-Mobile adding a line to my account. It's fucking crazy. We got it taken care of though. Everything is taken care of. No need to get hustle about or whatever. Strawberry fields forever. Wherever in the world you rad fucks are, I hope you're all doing well. Even the non-rad fucks. Until next time, take care. Creep it real. Don't be too sensitive because I'm not taking a lot of this seriously. Bye-bye. Thanks, guys, so much for today. This was awesome. I needed it.